Good evening. How is everybody tonight? Let me find us here now. We're live. Here we are. I thought so. Where are we? There we are. Good evening. How is everybody tonight? Let me make sure YouTube's up. Okay, I think we're good. Who all is out there? I see some people signing in. Who all's here? Let me know. I've missed you guys. I've been gone. I feel like forever since I've seen everybody or talked to everybody. I mean, I post some videos, but that it's just not the same as going live, guys. If you haven't done it, you ought to try. It's really cool. Come on. Who else there? If you're a first-time viewer, let me know where you're from. There we go. Hey, Shirley. There's Marilyn. Oh, yeah. How are you today? We have already seen you. There we go. Hey, Jamie and Jeannie. Good evening. And I was just down here. Like I said, I've been gone. I've been went to Arkansas, visited my oldest daughter and her family. Then I went to Texas and visited my youngest son and his family. Now I finally got back yesterday evening late, and I've got some orders I got to get caught up on. And so I thought while I'm doing this, I might as well go live and chat with you guys, kind of catch up. And I do also have a workshop coming up, so if you have any questions, you probably see me posting about it. But if you have any questions, let me know. I will post the links here if you want to just get all the details on it. I posted it in on Facebook, and now I'm going to put it over here on YouTube. There we go. Let me put it one more place here. So tell me, how is everybody? Tell me what's been going on. What have I been missing? Tell you, our weather is crazy. We're back down in the 30s again tonight. And my flowers made it through the first frost. I'm hoping they'll make it through this frost. They seem to be pretty sure we're going to get one. Okay. All right, so I got everything set everywhere. But tonight I've got to work on a patriotic wreath, and the order is for a low profile wreath or a screen door wreath. And usually those, I try to make them between 4 to 6 inches deep. I do have a 14-inch wreath frame, and I like these. They're fun little projects to do, especially, a lot of people are getting ready to do craft fairs, craft shows, and this is something you can whip up pretty quickly. You can usually make it in a lower price point. Of course, you can make it as high as you want, depending on what all kind of embellishments you put on it. That you can make them pretty just black and white, plain too, and that's kind of what she was requesting. She just wanted something real basic she could put up for the patriotic holidays. And if you are a wreath maker or reseller, I do recommend that you have patriotic in your shop all year long. I sell it all year. People use it for memorial services and that kind of thing. And then we have Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. I don't know, is Labor Day a patriotic holiday for real? I feel like people usually decorate for it that way, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Oh, bad storms and tornado. 7 went through Missouri Saturday. Yeah, we missed out on that. I was down in Texas when that went through. Um, and I don't think we got as much as what they thought they were going to this week or up here either. We had some wind, but not too much. I tell you, when driving up from Texas, though, I did see a bunch of damage from storms. I I'm not sure exactly where I was, but I was going through the countryside in Illinois, and there's a rest stop there, and I mean I bet there was 4 humongous trees over the top of it. Of course, it's set back in the woods, um, but I hope everybody's safe from that. I tell you what, I'm on these. I'm going to go ahead and cut my ribbon. Let me drop you down just a hair here. And I make my ribbon strips anywhere from 12 to 14 inches on these particular type of wreaths. I'm going to go 13 tonight. Just go right in the middle. Oh, the scissors are getting dull. Um, and I usually put 1 2.5 inch ribbon and 2 1.5 inch ribbons in each tie. And like I said, I'm going to make them about 13 inches tonight. I need 6 sets of each, or 6 sets of each ribbon. So tell me, who else out there working on a craft show coming up? Like I said, this would be a good project to fill your shop quickly. And we all know we want to have differing price points in our shops, or booths, I should say, if you're going to a craft fair. I need to make one of these extra, actually. And Nicole, if you're out there, Nicole's my daughter-in-law. I noticed they didn't have a wreath on their door. I've got to fix that, but they've got a screen door. So this is something that I could make one for them. Hey, Susan, how are you? All the pretty things. I love that name. Working on a patriotic wreath there, Marilyn. Good deal. Oh, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. Have the faith. Oh my gosh, Jean Ann, you had 12 inches of snow last night? Where are you, Jean Ann? Oh, Judy. Oh, Judy says she's getting snow also in Wisconsin. Well, I don't want any snow. It's time to go hunt mushrooms, you guys. If you're from the Midwest, you probably know this, but we have a delicacy. They're morel mushrooms. Well, there's morel, and then there's what we call preachers. There's all kinds of different names for them, but they're a delicacy. And I know when I was growing up, where I used to hunt, my parents' land, after April the 15th, tax day, that was usually season for mushrooms, depending on how, what the winter was like and what the temperatures being. You want it warm during the day, and at night it needs to stay reasonably. Wait a minute, what did I do here? Yeah, okay. I thought I messed up on my ribbons. Actually, I started to. I don't want that one. But morels are really sought after. You find them out in the woods, and they're only here for about, I don't know, probably 4 weeks or so. And last year, I know locally, people were getting $70 a pound for them, guys. But you can fry them. You can, I don't like this ribbon. I'm going to use a different ribbon. You can fry them. You can saute them. I know my son, he used to like to, he and I like to make soup out of them. But I want it to stay warm so we can go hunt some mushrooms. I know people are finding them south of here anyway. Hey, Sharon from Texas. I was just down in your neck of the woods. Just got back last night. I could easily live in Texas. I got to talk my husband into it, though. I love Texas. Not so much the Houston area, but I get scared when I'm in Houston. Oh no, Jan, you're supposed to get more snow tonight. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Crazy. Jamie's still working on her craft room. Oh my gosh, that's a everyday struggle here. Snow's a four letter word. I hear ya. Uh-oh. I don't have quite enough of that ribbon. So, let me think. How much do I have? Ugh. Need one more. It wouldn't be a big deal if I was going to put a bow or a sign on it because we could obscure it. But this is going to be just mesh and ribbon. So let me get. I tell you what I'll do. We'll do half and half of this ribbon and that other one because they're pretty similar. I'm just not a real fan of satin ribbon. Is it? So we'll make 3 of this section. And that's going to make it a little trickier, of course. If I just had a couple more inches, I could have been okay. So, let's see. And I'm making my strips, if you are just tuning in, I'm making my strips um, about 13 inches long. I'm going to get one more of these, I think will be good. So we'll have 3 of each one of those. There we go. So we got all our ribbon cut. Now I got to dovetail it. I'm not going to dovetail this. It's satin and it's pretty thin. The wire is kind of a medium wire. I did not get to touch this, and I usually recommend that grab a hold of the ribbon and play with it and feel what quality it is, but I did not. I got this online. It's okay. It's just not my favorite. These guys we're going to dovetail, but I just cut that one on an angle because otherwise it's just going to curl. I don't want that. Hey Karen, how are you? I know Karen's ramping up for craft shows. And if you don't know Karen, you need to. No, wait a minute. No, I'm right. Thought I'm losing my mind here. If you don't know Karen, if you are wanting to learn about craft shows, she's your gal. She's been a successful craft show person for many years. She's a fellow nurse, and she's actually teaching a master class on craft shows. You can get all kinds of tips. I'm not a craft show person. Those are a lot of work. They're a lot of work. I'd just soon stay here and sell from my home. I used to do one in the hospital every year, the hospital I worked at, but that was the only one I did on a regular basis. Anyway, hey Sarah, hey Terry, how are you? There's another nurse. How are you liking retirement, Terry? I tell you what, that's a big adjustment when you go from, um, working and having to clock in every day, or like myself, I was on call a lot of nights, and I never will forget the feeling when I drove away from the hospital that last time, and I didn't have my pager, and I didn't have to answer it to anybody. That's the weirdest feeling. Just washing your car every day, Rebecca. At least you don't have to shovel pollen. Yeah, we've got that going on. I know our um, furniture on the patio, you wipe it off and it's all green. So, hey Sharon, how are you? You have allergies, you're screwed. That's for sure. There's something, like I said, I was visiting my oldest daughter over last week, and there's something in Arkansas that I am allergic to. I can feel it as I'm driving down there. I don't know what it is. I used to think it was the cotton fields, but I don't know. I'm not sure that's it. I'm just, these thinner ribbons, I'm just cutting them on an angle, again, because I don't want them to curl up. If I dovetail them, they're just going to curl on top of each other. So who else has made one of these kinds of wreaths? One of these low profile mesh wreaths. They're kind of fun. I like when my granddaughter is here around the holidays. My I guess she'd be my second oldest. She likes to make these kinds of wreaths. It's something you can do with with younger kids. They can find them kind of fun to work with, easy. Actually, she and I made one of these patriotics last year, and she sold hers while we were doing the video. So we had to make another one. Hey, Julie. There's Gail. How are you guys tonight? Oh, Nan, a lot of you Texans don't like Houston. You're in Abilene. That's like, I think that's west of Dallas, isn't it? My son's brother-in-law and his wife lived over in Abilene for a while. I think they're in, where are they now? Oh, I think they're still there. Hey, Liz. Yeah, they're still there, and they have a dental practice. 4 hours west of Dallas. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Oh, Leah, you only like morels sautés in butter? I like them dipped in egg batter and fried. That's my favorite way. But I enjoy them more to hunt them than I do for um, cooking. I can take them or leave it in the cook. I do like them fried, but that's not the thrill to me. The thrill is to find them. Okay, I got all of that ribbon cut. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, it's cut in 13-inch strips. A lot of times I'll go back and I'll trim it also, just in different spots. I am going to, now I got to cut the mesh. And I've got 3 different types of mesh. This one's almost gone. And for this one, I usually cut it 20 inches long. And you can cut it, I know some people use 12-inch strips, but I like mine just a little bit more full. So I use 20-inch strips. We're going to need 6 of each color. Or no, 4 of each color. I don't have a mesh roller. I'm too tight. I have just, this is my mesh holder right here. Let me get my roller. So who else hunts mushrooms? Where's this? I've got my handy dandy mesh holders there. And like I said, I'm going to cut this about 20 inches. I'm just going to cut this to get even real quick here. And once we get into the important part, I'll move the camera down so you guys can see a little better. All right, so that's it. I appreciate you guys being here and keeping me company. 3, so come down here. One. Need some more blue. You've never had morels. Do you get them up there, Liz? I know when I was in Arkansas, I was talking to my son-in-law about them. He had never heard of them, so I know they're a regional thing, but do you guys get them up that way? All right, so I said I would need 4, right? 4 of each color. Hey, Zuli, how are you? Oh, you got 2 mesh holders, Gail. Yeah, I mean, back when I first started, I mean, we didn't have mesh holders. I can remember when somebody came out with them. Susie was the first one that came out with one. And I don't know. I just would rather spend my money someplace else. And I don't make that many mesh wreaths, really. I make a lot more floral wreaths than I do mesh. Okay, so we've got 12 rolls of, or 12 strips of 20-inch mesh. 20 inches long, I should say. Now, I'll go ahead and drop you guys down. Good to see you too, Zuli. You guys probably don't have morel mushrooms in Puerto Rico, do you? Oh, you see them on cooking shows all the time? Yeah, they are a specialty. But like I said, if around here locally, some people were getting $70 a pound for them last year. It was not a good year for them last year, so they were kind of in short supply. But I thought, heck, back when I was a single gal, I'd have gone out in the woods and hunted and sold those things. And once you find your spot, your spot where you find some, you don't dare tell anybody. That's like a family secret. And they populate from their spores. And it's been funny, back when I was a kid, I knew certain places to find them. And it's funny how over time, how it's migrated to different areas. Still in the same general area, but it's definitely shifted. we've got the morels that you hunt, and then there's others that um, there's different names for them, but we call them preachers. They were taller. I didn't like those so well, but they still counted. Did I miss a spot? Yes, I did. I'm just putting one of these on each joint here at the bracket, and I'm going back here and putting one in between. So I have 2 layers of mesh. Hey, Julie, how are you? We're talking about mushrooms. Well, mushroom hunt. Is anybody over there on YouTube know about mushrooms? I'm talking about morels, not the other kind. Okay, now I'm going to go through. I'm going to put a mesh ruffle on each of the bottom layers. I'll go ahead and zoom in here. And I usually just wad my mesh up, but for this type of wreath, I usually will make them a little bit more tidy. Like I said, this is just mesh and ribbon. Whereas usually when I'm making a mesh wreath, I've got other things I'm going to be covering up with. So. Julie, have you been hunting any mushrooms? I do try and tuck my raw ends under. That's the big thing on mesh. Making sure, first off, you got to make sure you're using good quality mesh. And turning the edges under. So there's no, these raw edges. You don't want those exposed because they'll catch on anything, including other mesh. And then you want to not be handling it any more than you just absolutely have to. Last thing I do when I ship off a mesh wreath is to trim off any any parts of the fray or anything like that. So, like I said, I've got the workshop coming up. In case you haven't heard, I've got a workshop coming up this Thursday, like just in a couple of days. And we're going to be working on making cemetery and funeral arrangements, different types. We're going to be making, a headstone saddle. And I've got a real simple recipe I promise anybody can do. We are going to make a standing spray. We are going to make a cross, a memorial cross, some urn arrangements, and we'll talk about where to get the supplies, what kind of supplies you're going to need. I'll give you different tips on as far as making them durable. That's the big thing with the cemeteries is it's exposed to all the elements, lawnmowers, people, everything. So you got to treat them just a little bit differently. There's some tricks to having them last a little bit longer. But anyway, we're going to be starting this Thursday. It's going to be Thursday and Friday. We're going to have 4 sessions each day, and we'll have a live Q&A. And I did put a link to the sign up if anybody is interested in looking at the details and or going ahead and signing up. But I feel like it's an underserved population. And I know every time I post a memorial saddle, I make them for my family. I am going to start selling them, but I make them for my family up to this point. And anytime I post them, I get all kinds of questions and requests for tutorials. So that's what we're going to do. Refresh me on the name of the mushroom that resembles a wizard's hat. Those are the ones that we called preachers. Some people call them some other names, just based on their shape. They aren't very nice, but we call them preachers. I know there's other names for them too, but that's what we call them. And they're kind of fragile. They've got a longer stem and then this little brown cap. Um, so they look a lot different than the morels, and they're just not as meaty as the morels. Their flavor's real similar. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting to talking. I need to stop here. All right, now, one way this wreath is different than the other mesh wreaths I make, we're going to go ahead now that we've got our first layer full of mesh, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some ribbons in it, in each one of the ties. And you'll see why here in a minute, why we go ahead and do this step now. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if I like the way I've got my ribbon arranged here. Yeah, I think I want to stick with what I got here. Trying to think what I was saying here. Oh, one thing though, you do need to know, if you don't know, if you've never been mushroom hunting before, I mean, there's lots of poisonous mushrooms too. So you really need to go with somebody that knows what they're doing to learn. I was fortunate my dad, he took me out when I was really young, and we used to go mushroom hunting together. I would remember our friend in nephrology. Yes, yes. Yes, Julie. Anytime I brought that up, he went crazy. We had a nephrologist that, of course, some people eat mushrooms that are poisonous, and it's really, I mean, it's very, very dangerous. And we used to have a doctor at work, Julie here on Facebook's talking about it, that he used to just freak out when he'd hear all us Midwestern people talking about mushroom hunting. But like I said, I've been doing it since I was, as long as I can remember. So I feel like I'm pretty confident in what what is a good mushroom and what is not. Marilyn, you're going to be 69 next month. Well, happy birthday. I never thought I was going to be a wreath maker either, Marilyn. Never ever. I don't know if you saw my post this weekend. A lot of people ask me, why did you retire from being a nurse practitioner to make wreaths? But this was actually my escape back when I was working as a nurse practitioner. I'd come down here after work, and it was a great way to relax. Oh, you're looking forward to the workshop. Good deal. Good deal. I'm excited. What's the best place to buy mesh? There's lots of different places, Leah. Um, I do have on my blog, if you go there, I've got a blog post actually that talks about good places to buy things online, and I need to skip that. I grabbed the wrong one. Um, but let's see. Greenery Market, Deco Exchange, Craft Outlet. I buy mine wholesale at Craig Bachman's if you've got a tax ID. The Wreath Shop, Trendy Tree. Those are all places that don't take a tax ID. But if you go to my blog at adorabledecodecor.com, I've got a blog post that has all the places that I use most often to buy online. I don't like the mesh at like Craft Out or Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's. You can just really tell a difference. It's not, and I love Hobby Lobby and all those places. So don't get me wrong, but that's one place. That's one thing I do not buy there. The weave is just really thin and it frays very easily. And, a lot of times people argue, well, but the cost difference. Well, if you look at it, it's not that much different. For one thing, the rolls are smaller. If you look at it closely, the rolls are not as many feet. I don't remember how many that they have, but why do I keep on grabbing that? But the ones that I buy are 10 yards. And like at Craft Outlet, you spend so much and you get free shipping. You can get bonus points that you can take some dollars off. Greenery Market, Deco Exchange, both have free shipping after a certain amount. So it all evens out, but you really do get what you pay for there. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Yeah, Liz, I've used it in an absolute pinch, um, and I've sold wreaths with it before I got exposed to better quality mesh. And I have to say, it's way better than it was even when I started. And there's so many more options. All we had was 21-inch mesh and no patterns. I need to make a 21-inch mesh. I almost, or a wreath. That used to be all I would do, and they can be fun. I know some ways I would change my recipe now that I know more, but maybe we'll make one soon. So I've got a ton of 21-inch mesh I need to use up. Oh, really, Sarah? That's interesting. And now it's 10-yard rolls. What's the price look like now, Sarah? Yeah, I've noticed that some of these other companies, they've been watching us. And if you look, a lot of their items are based on designs that us wreath makers have been doing. So, like last year, you'll see it this year. So it's kind of cool. I think it's great. Okay, let's go ahead and now we're going to start on the upper deck here. And now you can probably tell why I had to do the bottom layer, put the ribbon on, and then come back and get the bottom layer because our ties are way down in here. So, hey Fran, how are you? Good evening. All right. So we're going to start, we're just going to repeat the same process we just did on this top layer here. Now sometimes it's hard finding the ties. But we're just going to do the exact same thing here. I hope, Jean, if you're out there, I hope you didn't think I forgot about you, but like I said, I've been gone, so I'm just now getting around to getting this wreath made. Oh, I don't want to finish that. Hang on. Oh, Verlene, you like Craft Outlet? Yeah, I like them. Some people don't care for them, but I haven't ever had a bad experience, and I usually give people the benefit of the doubt until they give me a reason not to. Oh, thank you, Fran. Thank you. Are you down in Florida, Fran? Are you staying dry? No, my mom's down there. I guess they've been getting a lot of rain, but she said they needed it badly, just not all at one time. Oh, how fun, Verlene. You got a order coming in tomorrow. That's always happy mail. It's just like having Christmas. I keep on twisting these just out of habit. I don't want to close these up yet. Need to leave those open. So we got to come back and put ribbon on them. So, do you guys all decorate for patriotic holidays? I usually do not, but I'm going to this year, by gosh. I'm going to try and get better about keeping our house decorated. Used to, I never would put a nice wreath out on our door. I'd always just have, just a plain Jane one. I thought this year is going to be different. I'm going to decorate. Quit twisting, Terry. Oh, you guys, I know some of you guys out here are readers like I am. I love to read before I go to bed. I've got a book, if you guys haven't read, I think actually, Liz, you might have told me about this one, The Family Upstairs. Has anybody else read that? It's one of those I just can't stop reading it. I've been staying up way too late. Don't ask me who the author is. I can't remember that. But it's The Family Upstairs. But Liz, are you still there? Were you the one that told me about that? I'm just now getting around to reading that one. That's one way I like right before I go to bed. I have to read to kind of unwind. But you get a good book, and then you end up thinking, that wasn't the one you recommended then, but well, you ought to read it. So I think it sounds like something you'd like. Like I said, I couldn't recall off the top of my head who the author was, but it was really good. And then I read another one too, just recently that actually I found out they were just making it into a series, I guess. Last thing he told me, or was it the last thing he told me? I think it was. That was a really good book too. The ending was a little bit so-so, but probably just because it didn't end the way I liked it or I wanted it to. You're not sure on the price? 3 inches of rain, Fran. Holy cow! Yeah, my mom, she's in Venice, so I think she's just south of you guys. Gail's putting a patriotic wreath on her table. Cool. Oh, notice the labels. Usually, I tell you, I know I've looked at it lately, and to me, I could just look at it from outside the package, Sarah, and I could tell. I could tell it just, um, it's like this mesh here. It's tightly and it's evenly wound. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just real even and tight. Um, and I'm not saying I don't get bad mesh other places because I have before, but yeah. So just be careful. All right, now this is the one I'm going to have to pay attention. Remember, I've got two of these left and one of these, so I'll have to space these guys out pretty deliberately. I'll go ahead and use this one first, because remember I ran out of that one ribbon, but I still wanted to use it. So all right, let's start. Ooh, I don't want to, just undid that. Let's go over here first. I think it's going to be cute. Like I said, it's real simple design. Something you can do while you're sitting here talking to your friends. You can whip a bunch of them out in no time. So I've got this ribbon right here, so I'm going to make sure I put this way. Go this one. But they just come together really quick. I normally would put my solid ribbon on the bottom, but I want that little bit of shimmer there. I want it to be sure it shows well. Love patriotic crafts. I do too, Leah. I'm usually late starting to the party, though. I love working with the florals, and so I usually don't. I'm not ready to stop on spring. But most people are just now thinking about spring, so I'm talking about buyers. So I like the colors in this. Okay, so I've got my other one, so I'm going to want to bring this probably, let's see. So if we put I'll put those two together though. I guess it's not going to make any difference, is it? So that's all right. I'm telling you, that what do they call that sound on another social media place. If you go there, it's like nobody's going to know. This is one of those things. Nobody's going to know. I'm going to go ahead and put it up here because looking on my bottom one, I've got this right here, so I think I'll put it over here, and then we'll put the blue over there. Yes, Sarah. Oh, she's north of you. Sarasota's south of Venice. I didn't realize that. I've always thought it was south of there because we stayed in Sarasota one year when we went to visit her. I really liked Sarasota. It's really a pretty town. I liked all the art. All right, this is not wanting to sit down right. I'll put this underneath of here. going to use the property of it sticking to itself to my advantage. Make that stay down there. Oh, okay. Okay, Ran. I'm with you now. Hey, Pauletta. I'm with you now. All right, we got a couple more ties to go. Did I miss one here? There's one here. One here. So 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I see what I did. I see what I did, guys. See, I can't talk and do this at the same time. I get distracted. I start talking to you guys and start forgetting what I'm doing. Oh, every time you watch me live, you get an order, Sarah? Good deal. Would I start going live every day? Well, I'm glad to be your good luck charm. I don't think that's it though, Sarah. You've been rocking it in your Etsy shop. I've been watching. That's not all me. Okay, so now I need to put a blue one over here. Actually, probably I will be live about every day this week. I know tomorrow's my usual day. And like I said, need to get caught up on orders. I got 2 more to do after this. They're florals though. And maybe some bows. I can't remember. I got 2 bows, but I don't know if I already got them made or not. But it goes a lot quicker when I'm here talking with you guys. I think I lost my comments on YouTube, you guys. Are you still there? I see some people watching. Is anybody there on YouTube? I don't have any comments there. Had a lot and then nothing. You got 298 sales. Good for you, Sarah. That is fabulous. I love to hear that. Love to hear it. Okay, we got one more. So we'll take this. I love this ribbon. I've got some that has a tinsel down the side. That's my favorite. Fran's still here. Okay, good. Thank you. Benita's still there. Okay, good deal. Thank you. Sometimes your comment, you just don't get any comments. And like today, I was doing a live in my design group, and somebody else was answering a question for somebody who had asked one, but I never got the question. I never, ever got the comment. So if you ever are asking me a question and I don't answer it, it's not because I am ignoring you. So just go ahead and ask it again. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But just know that we don't get all the comments. Okay. All right. I think that's done. Let me back out here a little bit so you can see it. But it's just a simple patriotic wreath. Like I said, the profile is low. You can fit it in between a screen door and a regular door. Let me raise you up here so I can talk to you. Just pulling off that little bit of fray there. I usually try to take care of it when I see it, because if I don't, then I won't find it again or I'll forget. So, but anyway, that's it. Like I said, it comes together real quick. I usually don't put a wreath hanger on these. I do all my other wreaths pretty much, unless there's a reason not to. But these, you can easily just hang them, just from the frame, just like this. But easy peasy. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to look through and see if I missed any. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it's so simple. It's so simple. And like I said, it's something you can do. And like I said, I have a little trouble focusing while I'm talking, but it's real easy. Yes, you can do it with your grandkids or your children. And another thing too, if you're doing a craft show, people love to come out, watch people crafting things, like whether you're making bows or you could. This is something you could do. Just make a screen door wreath real quick and easy. And it's something you could stop, and go back and pick it up where you left off real easily. But I hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, I do have the workshop that'll be starting on Thursday. We're going to have it's to make cemetery and funeral arrangements. We're going to be making cemetery saddle. We're going to make a cemetery or a funeral standing spray. We're going to make a wreath. We're going to make two different kinds of urns. What else? A cross, a memorial cross out of florals. Um, and then we're going to have Q&A session and all that kind of thing. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I can't wait. Can't wait for it. I'm just trying to get all the the loose ends finished up since I've been gone. Trying to get that all done. I did put a link in the comments. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. But I did put a link in the comments. If anybody's interested, you can go there and just click on that link, and it'll tell you all about the details on it. And you do not have to be present for the videos. Everything's going to be recorded, and then I send out all the links to the video recordings that you can watch at your leisure. Usually what I do, we do the workshop part live, and then after the workshop, I get everything edited and kind of tidied up, and then I send you guys the copies. But it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. It's something different. I've not done this particular workshop before, so it's something new and different for me too. Um, so I can't wait. I'm really excited for it. All right. Any other questions? Hey, Christy. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. And if you have any questions about the workshop, let me know and just send me an email. I do recommend don't send me anything messenger. I don't get those. Um, sometimes it might be 3 days before I get a message from my family on Messenger. So I get to where I don't even look at that. So if you need to ask me questions or something I can help you with, send me an email. It's Terry Smith at adorabledecodecor.com. And if you forget that, it's on my website. You can just click the link where it says contact, and it'll send me an email. So, okay. All right. Thanks again. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll catch you next time.